And as I said, Bodish has a bunch of different tools against Soto's jab. One of his greatest assets is timing. And he throws a nice body shot combination, but we can't see it because the referee's in the way. That would have been, yeah, okay, Mr. 6-0. That's way too comfortable with that distance management. Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time. I'm not even going to say anything, bro. Let's just start off right with the video. Let's go. As always, bro, anything you see in this video, you can really go ahead and train that. But without much talking, I want to go over one detail that really sticks out to me, and that is how you can beat anything in boxing with a jab. Bodish throws a jab to trigger a response, and then he is throwing a slip jab. And he's beating his opponent's overhand over the top with the jab. So not only is he beating it, you can beat anything in boxing with a jab. But let me actually just show a clip of Terence Crawford here.
So then when you extend it, boom, this is protecting you. This is right here. You know what I mean? Because look, if I throw a hook, no, I'm shit. If I'm here, boom, and you throw a hook, I'm just gonna turn.
So now again, here is DJ doing it. He's throwing a jab to trigger the response, and then he's stepping in while hinging, and he's throwing the slip jab at the same time. Not only is he beating his overhand, but he's also totally protected from it. From there you can weave or whatever you want to do. But that's a shot you can really practice a lot, and you should practice that a lot. Off of some nice combination punching, overhand right into a gazelle up jab. He is using frames on the inside, He's using frames. Look at his lead arm now, his lead forearm. And that is something that I will go over excessively in this fight, because DJ really shows great skill on the inside, using weaves, ducks, and frames with his head and forearms to really control and dominate the inside. I will go over that way more often in this fight, but now let's just go off to the next good detail in round one. Just to go over a little bit more about that slip jab, you can throw the same shot to the body too. So if you step in while hinging, then you can let that jab go while slipping to the outside to the body as well. The body mechanics are the same. You're saying, oh, that's some beautiful head movement there, man. And just to get that out of the way, before I go over it more excessively, look at how he's using weaves by bending at the waist. He's using weaves and ducks by bending at the waist, and he is having his head looking down, so he can't get head control. You can hear the best coaches on the planet say you can beat a jab with a jab. So that's exactly what DJ does here. He releases his jab off of a feint. He shoots it to the body. And yet again, he is turning his hips. He's pulling his rear shoulder back. And he is stepping in while pushing his butt back or slipping to the outside, all at the same time. That's how he throws that shot, and you can throw that to the head or you can throw that to the body. And if you have the timing to really shoot it simultaneously with your opponent's jab, that's a nasty shot. How to take away the 1-2-3. Parries the jab, weaves the cross, and then weaves right back to avoid the hook as well. That's some great stuff, and he is going to mix that defense up, and he's going to shoot off of that defense. But now pay attention to what he does when he's on the inside. Yet again, he's using his forearms to frame his opponent. Talking about frames, this video is really going to be dedicated to inside fighting mastery, because that's exactly what DJ Bodish's style is all about, and that's why I'm so convinced that he's going to be an issue in the division. So without much talking, let's go over the next good detail. Bro, I can't even lie, it's right here, bro. It's right here. The next detail is right here. Look how he's baiting him with a high guard. From there, he's shooting an overhand and a lead uppercut. Off of that uppercut, he smothers in and frames him. There it is again. Look at his lead forearm. Off of that frame, he's weaving in, and off that weave, he's landing a beautiful left hook in the right hand. He's ducking off of that right hand, and that's defensive responsibility. That's one of the fundamental things on his game, on his style, bro. That's one of the fundamental things that you can really learn. That's a nice hook there. That you can really learn from him. Look at when he's shooting on the inside. He isn't there waiting for the receipt. He's moving his damn head all the fucking time, bro. He's always defensively responsible. He's so slick on the inside. That's why it's so hard to hit him. It's almost like he's always in a rhythm. Every time he's shooting off of his defense, he's instantly defending off of his offense. So he's not only is he shooting off his defense, he's also defending off his offense. It's a lot, bro. But defensive responsibility is key. You're basically moving your head or your feet after you shoot. Bro, I'm going to go over a bunch of things in this video, but one thing you can really learn here as well is how you can really use your head and your waist movement to cover distance. If you look at Danny Bodish, he is always on the inside. That's what he... Not because it's the only thing he can do. That's what he wants to do to exploit Soto. Soto can't deal with him at all. He doesn't know how to handle it, you know, and Bodish knows that. So I understand that you can really, and me too, we can really learn from this video how you can use your head and waist movement to get on the inside and work from there using frames, weaves, and ducks. And I really want to use this opportunity to go over all these crafty things on the inside. So that's what I'm going to do after the next good detail. You know, using a weave, ending up on the inside, he's putting his head on Soto's chest. From there, he can work the body. So that's good head placement. So his head positioning on the inside is something you can really learn as well. Just looking at Bodish and understanding that he's using a weave to get his head on the inside of Soto's chest, and he can work to the body from there. And I just want to use this opportunity to show my appreciation, because I have a passion, and my passion is the sport of boxing. And his coach, actually, the guy that's in Danny Bodish's corner right now, his name is Tommy Kello. He completely changed my game and my view on the sport of boxing. So I want to use this opportunity to really tell you, if you want to be a better boxer, bro, I'm not sponsored. I'm doing this because I genuinely want to help you become a better fighter. You know, he has a YouTube channel. It's world-class boxing channel on YouTube. You should just follow the guy on Instagram, bro. You can learn all of these things that you see Danny Bodish here from Tommy Kello himself. Bro, isn't that crazy? Back in the days, you'd have to travel the world. Today, you could just use the internet. So why wouldn't you do so if you want to become a better fighter? All right, cool. I'm going to stop talking about it now. You get my point, bro. Let's just get back to the video. And yeah, man, as you can see, if you paid attention to the video, there it is again. There it is again, that slip jab, bro. Anyways, man, I've been talking about that way too many times, but I think you get my point. That's a beautiful shot, and you should practice that relentlessly. So right here, you can see Danny Bodish, as I said, covering distance with his head movement. He's stepping in with his weave, and he shoots a big hook right from there. So he's weaving himself in position so he can score. Timing is the greatest skill in boxing, and Bodish has great success timing Soto, especially his jab. He's timing it with his own overhand right as well. So as you can see, as soon as Soto shoots his jab, Danny Bodish slips his head to the inside while releasing his overhand. Just lands it right over the top. So that was a nice way to land the overhand, timing the opponent's jab, and here is a nice way to defend it. You just smother in. So assuming you have the right fundamentals, you bend at the waist and step in. Now that we're talking about defending the overhand right, here Bodish shows you another way. You just weave it and then come back with a left hook to the body. So all these things that you see DJ do here, they all work. You know, weave the overhand, come back with a left hook to the body, and then you can put them together, come back with a right hand to the head or even a left hook to the head. And yeah, man, that's just all these things that I'm pointing out here. You can all go ahead and practice and drill them. You know, that you see him use the cross guard there. It's a lost art, man. You don't see people use that nowadays. But I want to go over the next good detail here. Earlier, we've seen Danny Bodish slipping his head to the inside of Soto's jab and bringing that right hand over the top of it. Here you can see him bringing the right hand to the body. You know, so he's mixing it up. That's good stuff. So everything you can shoot to the head, you can bring to the body as well. After Bodish tries to set up his up jab here with an overhand right, which is good guard manipulation, look at how he shifts and pivots off of that right hand, bro. I'm going to replay that just because that's so beautiful. He creates an angle for that left hook to the head there. Just to go over a little bit more about framing, Danny Bodish is using his left forearm and his right forearm as well to create space on the inside and to control him on the inside. And that is also setting up shots. So what shots is he creating? He's framing with his left forearm to create a rear uppercut and then a lead hook. Off of that hook, he's weaving in, and off that weave, he's framing with his right forearm and shoots that body shot there. I bet many of you didn't even see that. That's a good shot there. So here is something I noticed when I watched the fight for the first time. You know, it's something that he does when his opponent tries and clinch him. Soto clinches onto him. Danny Bodish raises his arms up. And then he drops his body and slips his arms out of his clinch. And from there, he goes straight to work and lands a nice right hand to the head. Quite a few things that you can copy from Danny Bodish. And one of the things is turning your opponent when you're on the ropes. So see him reaching around and then turning his hip clockwise, pivoting his rear foot out. See, he's just completely switched positions. Right now, he's in a real bad position, but he just, you know, switcheroos it. And now he got his opponents on the ropes. So that is something that you can really practice that a lot if you're lucky enough to have good imagination and you have a ring, or you even have a sparring partner that you can maybe do partner drills with. All the things that you see here, you can really go ahead and train them. But now off to the next round. So right in the beginning of this video, you can see Danny Bodish tripling up on that outside slip jab, which I think kind of nasty. But now we're talking about this defense, and everything you see here, you can really go ahead and drill that. You know, I'm going to go over this clip again. But just look how he puts together counterpunching off of nice defense. And then off of that counterpunching, he instantly goes back to go. Bro, like, that is some really good stuff, bro. That's some really good stuff. I'm going to go over this entire clip once more. And, you know, bro, if you're looking for something you can practice shadowboxing or even on the back, then yeah, this is something that... So after catching the jab with the backhand, he's rolling with his shoulder, completely avoiding that cross, proactively turning with that hook defense. So he's in position to throw a counter hook of himself. Then he puts them together, throws a rear uppercut and another left hook. And then he catches the jab with the backhand, raises his lead arm up to avoid the backhand and smothers in against the hook proactively. So there in those clips, you can actually see Bodish showing you two different ways to avoid the 1-2-3. And in both situations, after he just avoided the opponent's cross, he proactively turns and takes away the hook as well. And that was just some nice counter punching. So he brings the right hand over the top of the opponent's jab, and then he comes back with a straight up jab down the pipe. See, another thing that you can really learn here is that you can turn missed punches into frames. So here Danny Bodish misses with a lead hook, but he turns that lead hook into a forearm frame. You know what I mean? So you can turn even jabs, you know, right hands, you can turn punches into frames. So turning missed punches into frames, that's huge. But here, Danny Bodish is beating his opponent's wide right hand with a short hook on the inside. If you remember the video that I showed you in the beginning from Terence Crawford showing you how you can turn the shoulders after shooting a slip jab, Danny Bodish does just that. And he puts them together with a rear uppercut and another lead hook before he steps back to avoid the attempted counter. So one thing that you can really go ahead and understand that Danny Bodish definitely has a great coach because he is incorporating body. And he's real talented because he never just defends. He's always, with his defense, he's putting himself in position where he can counter. So using your horizontal lead forearm and your horizontal rear forearm as well on the inside to create angles and openings, you can really see how off of a lead forearm frame, he shoots a rear uppercut to the head and then a lead hook to the head. So that's great combination punching, putting them together. You know, framing on the inside is one of the fundamental factors of Danny Bodish's style, yeah. And that's why he's so vicious on the inside. You know, Soto, it seems like he can't deal with him at all. Even though he is bringing up a fight. He fought on Kalaev before. You know, the guy that just fought in OA. So Soto has seen it all. It's just that Danny Bodish's inside control is making it real hard for Soto to adjust. Looking like straight Joe Frazier here, bro. Ducking over his lead leg and coming back with that left hook to the body. And also, timing is the greatest skill in boxing. Here in this next clip, you can see Danny Bodish timing Soto's lead hand with his own right hand over the top, which is just showing a great display of timing. And now off to the next round. Well, this is a shot that Crawford had great success with against Canelo, and that is putting his jabs together, starting with jabs to the body and then putting them together with jabs to the head. Other than the slip jab, one of the combinations I see Bodish abusing just because of how effective it is that overhand lead up jab combination. So not only is he landing that overhands, more time he's also using it to distract his opponent, you know. And if you ever fought somebody that has a good up jab, then it's really hard to defend against anyways. And then if he gives you something to worry about, like that overhand, and then he shoots that up jab, it's just a shot that you can place a lot. You know, it's just real hard to defend against. And as we mentioned before, he's using up jabs out of all different trajectories and angles. So not just off of slips to the inside, but also simultaneously with a slip to the outside. And I think the most important detail here in this entire fight is how he is using frames off of his defense and also how he is proactively defending off of his offense, you know. And regardless, here is the sweet signs of it. When he is using the defense, he's not just defending, he is setting up a counter shot. So let's just say he doesn't get the anticipation right. He's defending against a hook even though his opponent doesn't even throw a hook. Well, he's still in position to come back with a hook himself. You know, so he's always incorporating what he always incorporates in his defense. And this is a fundamental thing in his style is with his defense, he's always putting himself in position where he can instantly counter again. You know? So even, let's just say he shoulder rolls the right hand and then he gets in position to block the hook. Even when his opponent doesn't throw the hook, he is still in position to come back with a hook himself. I mean, this changes multiple times a year, but meet my current favorite combination. So this is the inside slip up jab and you shoot the straight right hand off of it. Yeah, that's just a nasty combination. So right here you can see Danny Bodish stepping in with both feet. So he's stepping both feet in with that up jab, and then when he's planted on the floor, he's letting that right hand down. Straight down the pipe. He's letting that right hand go straight down the pipe, off of that up jab. And with all those things pointed out, I mean, he's also a switch hitter. So yeah, right here, he's using a high guard to bait out a response before smothering in. But he's southpaw here. And in his southpaw stance, he shoots 2 body shots, a rare shot to the body, a lead hook to the body. And then off of those 2 body shots, he shoots a right hand down the pipe to the head. And that, all of that, he's doing all of that southpaw. Look at that southpaw shoulder roller, bro. You crazy, bro. Yeah, I think most people can't comprehend it, but being fundamentally solid in both stances, that's crazy, bro. Like, 99% of the people aren't even fundamentally solid in one. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. He landed a slip jab to the head in the beginning of every round, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm dead ass serious, though. Starting the fight especially, a huge emphasis on starting the fight. So starting the fight with jabs and slips simultaneously with your jabs, that's a great way to start a fight. And if you know my channel, then you know that. You know that. And Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Evander Holyfield, Dwight Muhammad Qawi, all these guys, they're all doing the same thing. And they're starting the fight by jabbing to trigger a response. They're slipping their head to the outside while shooting even more jabs. Getting their head off the center line. That's how they start the fight. Instantly utilizing on the best punch in boxing, instantly applying pressure. And yeah, that's what DJ does as well. Every round pretty much. And he lands it too. Bro, I love how much Danny is utilizing his up jabs, bro. Yet again, he's using a rare overhand to set that shot up. He's using that right overhand to... And look at the trajectory of his lead hand, bro. It's so hard to track. It's so hard for Soto to see that. One more important thing that I realized about Danny Bodish's lead right hand, I should say, his lead backhand. When he lets his lead backhand go, I believe that he is squaring up before shooting it to bring his hand closer to the target. So he isn't shooting his lead backhand from a really bladed stance. He is squaring up first, moving his rear hand in position first before shooting it. So yeah, that's just another detail about Danny Bodish's lead backhand. Before shooting it, he's squaring up, bringing his rear hand closer to the target. So just look at bro's right hand. It's real far away. There he brings it closer to the target before shooting it as a lead right hand. So another way he's utilizing on that lead backhand is by shooting it at the same time as Soto's backhand. So here you can see him squaring up to bait. And then he is releasing his backhand, slipping his head off the center line. Soto's backhand, therefore, goes over Danny Bodish's rear shoulder. And Danny Bodish's backhand splits Soto's. Just a great counter. That's a real nice counter. If you can time your opponent's backhand, slip your head off the center line and shoot it straight down the pipe. After round 7, Bodish lands another crisp up jab off of a right hand that he squares up on. So what do I mean by that? He is, as I said, we've been over this. He's bringing his right hand closer to the target. If he is intending to shoot a lead right hand, he doesn't just shoot it when he's all the way back there bladed over his rear leg. No, it's a game of inches. So a few things that I noticed is that Soto is switch hitting as well. See him switching stances, trying to utilize on that southpaw jab. Bodish instantly realizes it. Maybe he just has a feeling for these kind of things, man, because that is just an understanding in a split second. He just switches, Soto just switches his stance, and he instantly comes back with the best counterpunch for the opposite stance's jab, because, utilizing on the orthodox cross against the southpaw, straight backhand, that's a really good idea. In this next clip, you can see Bodish using his head and his rear forearm to frame Soto, and he shoots a nice left hook to the body off of it. That's a beautiful shot. Rear forearm frame and then a left hook to the body off that frame. That's another example of how framing on the inside can open up opportunities for you to score. And it seems to me that DJ is really a true master and really crafty at using his head on the inside. Here in this next clip, you can see Bodish off of a jab, weaving his head underneath Soto's arm. And from there, he has a nice angle for that left hook to the body, and he lands that beautifully. So not only is that really good head positioning, putting his head underneath Soto's armpit, outside of his shoulder, but also he's coming back with one of the best counter shots against the backhand. And that's a left hook to the body. There it is. That's a nice counter. Weave the overhand right, bow, come back with a left hook to the body. There is many things that I believe this guy to be really skilled in, real issue for the division in the future. Just because, man, look at that combination punching and look at that nasty distance management. He don't even care, bro. He's way too comfy. He's way too comfortable. And look at Soto, poor guy, bro. Switches southpaw, gets his southpaw jab slipped. Switches back to orthodox, gets his orthodox jab beaten over the top with an overhand right. So, man, it's just real hard, you know. But Bodish seems to easily adjust to anything Soto tries. So, in case you couldn't guess it, Bodish wins this fight unanimously on all 3 scorecards and advances to 6-0. It's also crazy that there is an 8-round fight in his 6th professional fight. You know, this is an 8-round fight already. You can tell this guy is serious, you know. You can tell this guy wants it, he's hungry. And as I said, bro, I truly believe it's worth it to keep an eye on DJ Bodish and just follow his career, bro. You know, it's not going to be disappointing. And I truly believe that he will take this serious and this is going to be a true superstar in this division. And we can always have different opinions. I'd just appreciate you if you could leave a comment. And yeah, man, just leave a comment. Fuck with me, bro. I don't upload regularly right now. But, bro, trust me, bro. My whole life is around. I train every day, bro. I watch boxing every day. I eat, sleep, and breathe boxing, bro. My friends are probably annoyed at me, bro. I can't even lie to you because I don't even speak about anything else. So just because I don't upload a lot, you can expect future bangers on this channel. And yeah, man, just leave a comment. Show me some love and that's already all there is to say, man. As always, keep your head up, my guy. Peace and blessings.